All right, let's pull back the curtain on a world that's all around us, but at the same time almost completely invisible. I'm talking about the massive, sprawling network of electronic fund transfers. It's a system that moves at incredible speed, but hidden inside all that data is a constant, high-stakes battle against a very old crime, money laundering.
So to really wrap our heads around the scale we're dealing with, let's just start with one word: trillions. It's an amount of money that's so huge, it's almost impossible to even picture. This isn't just a number, It's the lifeblood of our entire global economy, and it's pulsing through the system every single second.
But here's the part that's truly mind-bending. That number, it isn't what moves in a year, or even a month. Trillions of dollars are flowing through these digital wires every single day. This incredible speed is what powers modern life, sure, but it also creates the perfect storm for anyone looking to hide something.
So, what are we actually talking about here? Well, we're talking about electronic fund transfers, or EFTs. I know, it sounds super technical, right? But it's something you and I use all the time. Every time you use an ATM, pay a bill with your banking app, or buy something online. Yep, that's an EFT. You're part of this massive, interconnected system.
Okay, so here's the twist. The very same efficiency that makes this whole system so powerful is also its biggest weakness. For criminals, this non-stop, high-volume flood of legitimate money is the perfect camouflage to hide their illegal funds.
This quote really just nails the whole problem. Think about it like this. It's like trying to find one specific drop of dirty water in a massive raging river. The sheer volume of legal transactions creates this ocean of data, and that lets illegal transfers just blend right in, hiding in plain sight. They just look like financial noise. At the end of the day, their goal is actually pretty simple. They need to take money from illegal stuff, what we call dirty money, and wash it. They run it through the financial system so that when it comes out the other side, it looks like a legitimate profit. Once it's clean, they can spend it, invest it, whatever, all without raising any suspicion. So how do they actually pull this off? Well, their main technique is this really sophisticated strategy called layering. This isn't just about moving money from point A to point B. Oh no, it's about making that money impossible to trace. It's a deliberate game of creating chaos and confusion. And layering is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Criminals create this incredibly tangled web of transactions, just adding layer after layer after layer of complexity. The whole point is to bury where the money came from so deep that any investigator just hits one dead end after another. It makes tracing the money back to the original crime practically impossible. The process itself is very methodical. It starts when they put the illicit funds into an account. But it's not one big deposit. Instead, they kick off a whole bunch of smaller transfers to different accounts at different banks. Then, to make it even more confusing, they start wiring the money across different countries. So by the time the money finally lands where they want it, the trail is completely broken and it looks totally disconnected from its criminal route. And they're smart about how they do it. To stay under the radar, they're constantly changing the amounts they send so no obvious pattern shows up. They keep the transfer small on purpose to stay below the automatic reporting thresholds, the amounts that legally force banks to flag a transaction. And whenever they can, they'll use reputable organizations just to make everything look more legitimate. But this isn't a one-sided fight. Not at all. Financial institutions are constantly pushing back. They've got their own set of sophisticated tools and strategies to try and spot these hidden transfers. So let's meet the digital detectives on the case. Now, the first line of defense isn't a person, it's an algorithm. Banks and financial institutions use these incredibly powerful software programs that are designed to sift through millions of transactions every day, hunting for any weird anomalies or suspicious patterns that could be a sign of money laundering. And what this creates is this constant, high-tech game of cat and mouse. For every tactic the launderer uses, like using different amounts or hopping across borders, the detection software is being programmed to look for that exact pattern. It's this never-ending technological arms race between the people trying to hide and the people trying to find. But here's the reality check. No system is perfect. Determined criminals are always looking for new loopholes, new ways to game the system that the software might not be programmed to catch, at least not yet. So what happens when the software actually gets a hit, or when a human investigator needs to dig deeper? Well, that's when they start looking for a specific set of indicators, what everyone in the industry just calls red flags. These are the telltale signs that something is definitely not right.
And these red flags really start to paint a picture for investigators. You see a ton of small, random cash deposits suddenly followed by one single large wire transfer out. That's a classic. Or how about payments that seem to have no link to any real goods or services? That could be a fake invoice scheme. Transactions that are totally out of character for a customer, or funds zipping back and forth to known secrecy havens. Every one of these is another piece of the puzzle.